Holy moly, man. I hate meta sometimes so much. Just, holy shit. We're live. Audio is staticky. Okay, I'll fix it. This, and then we go to this and this. I still need to affect it. Apparently there's something that goes on, Fluff, with... let me fix it before I start rambling, because I imagine it's not very fun to listen to. Yeah, apparently there's some sort of thing that's in every computer that has, like, voice reduction, basically, like voice static reduction, essentially, but this, and it makes the graphics card itself, or the thing itself, completely fall apart, which is not great, as you might have been able to guess, which is shitty. Man, guys, I don't know how long this stream is gonna be. It's hot as fuck here in Canada. I might have to go pantsless, to be honest. It's so goddamn warm, and yikes, man. I hate meta sometimes so much. They're just like, hey, guess what? By the way, you have to update this whole thing. Yeah, this whole thing just randomly. Oh, by the way, also, the connection just isn't working. And I think I might just say, you know what? We love the stabilization of all that stuff within our, being able to look at shit and not look like a mess. Oh, it disconnected. Oh, good. Why did that pop out? Do I need to fucking, like seal the thing in there? Man, Christ. Yeah, my headset cord just popped out, so... upsetting. This. Not this. Make it smaller so I don't have to... yeah, there. Can we be back in the game? Yay! I gotta restart the thing again! Good, because it tabbed me out and now it can't connect. God, I want to... mad! Mad boy mad! Wow, things don't work out. Get over it, Jesus Christ. Go. Yeah, we're definitely by next stream, next VR stream, I have to kill the whole meta the software stuff, because they don't update it at all, and it's just completely fucked. Oh my god, so frustrating. Ay. Steam has like a Steam Link thing, which I'll probably have to switch over to, but it's just crazy that, like, oh, you'll disconnect, which happens tons because your cord can get yanked out of your headset, which just happens just by virtue of playing fucking VR corded. And then it's like, yeah, if that happens, we cannot reconnect under any means. And you're like, what the fuck is that? Oh my goodness. Anyways, me being triggered aside, how's your guys' day going? I gotta drink something that's nice and refreshing, or else I'm gonna overheat. But, oh good, that's now there. Why is that there? This. And grab this and put this here. Why isn't it remembering where everything is supposed to be? There, okay. No, but of course now it didn't remember where the thing was. Golly. There. Okay, now if I put that away, we're fine. Alright. There, now you guys can see something that's not, Garbo. My day is good, Grin. That's good, Lone. Good. What'd you get up to today, buddy? My god, sorry for being such a little whiny bitch. It's just, man. Heat and then things not working is just a demonic combination, you know what I mean? Also, is the static fixed, or is it still playing Sorcery? I don't want to hear this goddamn music. Alright. I don't know why everyone's like, you know what makes good music? Just it being the loudest thing on the planet. Maxed out. It's at 80% and it's still... like, what? 15% maybe, bud. It also could just be in my headset, perhaps. Maybe I have my headset, like, fucking geared, you know? But ladies and gentlemen, how I asked you already. I'm just kind of swindling because it's just like not swindling. What do you call it? Circling, essentially, because I'm just ugh. Anyways, I finally finished editing the voiceover, so all now I need is gameplay. So I don't know if I'll do that on my time or if we'll find a part in the stream where I can do it. But I basically need a little moment where I can kind of go over the weird... I need gameplay basically doing like a spear thrust in like a very specific way so that, yeah, no one cares. I'm feeling real gloomy, guys. I'll be honest. I don't know what happened to my dopamine in my brain, but it's drying out, let me tell you. Alright. Let's get in the game and stop being a whole I don't know, man. And I guess I try to do that stuff sometimes where it's like, you know, you kick your ass and you're like, stop being such a bitch. It never works for me. It always just makes me hate myself and hate everything else. Whatever the component of that is that is making me say that to myself. I much prefer the, it's unfair, it sucks, shit didn't work out, and that sucks. I don't want to hear about how I it needs tough shit, you know? That's just ass to hear that. All right. Also, thank you guys so much for being here. By the way, I'm so sorry. I know I hate when I do stuff like that because it devalues your guys' time, or it signals that I don't value you guys' time. The fact that you guys showed up to the stream. I when I hit publish, I was trying to make it so that it said what do you call it? That it was going to go live at 3 and not 2. But truth be told, I didn't actually know when I was going to go today because I was kind of doing a lot of stuff, and I was kind of like, when should we do the thing? You know, jump in and get after it. But predominantly, we're trying to use this, and I gotta stop grabbing the trigger. Like when I grab, I hit both buttons. The grab, this button, and this button, and that makes it so that you slide your hand around. But it also makes it so that you're less consistent when you're grabbing because your hand just sloops all around like that, you know, and it's less good. Also, most spears have a reinforced tip, so I don't know why this one doesn't. So that it doesn't wear out when you're walking with it and whatnot. Also, this is actually finally a true spear, which is actually about my height, which is neat. Again, I wonder if it's possible. Now your hand, kind of. You just need to really maneuver it in a weird way. Let's just chill for a bit. It's so hot, guys. I don't know what's going to happen because it's so warm. Also, Fluff says, we released a $500 VR device, so let's stop supporting it and force you to buy a new $500 device, which we also don't support. Meta is like the worst company to buy stuff from if you don't like standalone. Like, and it sucks because I feel like they could do both and they would make a shit ton of money, but the hell, they just are like, nah, let's not make money and instead focus on this very niche, not niche, it's clearly the dominant form, but it's just, Also, hopefully my cursor's not on the screen for you guys. That'd be annoying. Day just started for me, says Fluff. Woke up, took a shower, jumped into the Withering Waves, did my dailies, hopped over to ZZZ, and now I'm done with that. Ooh, nice. I really guys are starting your day off with a bunch of shit checked off the list. Hell yeah. I got a bubble in my chest. That's a pretty packed morning. Fluff says, seems possible that Quinn, that name, will be the first S rank for 1.1 in ZZZ. Hell yeah, nice. What do they look like? What faction are they to? Because I don't really know the name, so I'll be able to know them by that, unless I haven't seen them before, which could be a thing. Fluff says, no worries, Grin. Thanks for being flexible. Lone says, also, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that flexible? Do you mean like what do you mean by that? I appreciate the comments, but I just don't know what I warrant that. Lone says, also ZZ update, I'm in chapter 2, and I did the mission where I got to use the Bellabog industry characters like Anton, Ben. Oh, cool. So is that how they get you to like have a trial with all the characters? They kind of throw them at you in like a mission so you can actually play with them and see what they're all like? That's a pretty cool idea. Also introduces you to the factions of the game, which pretty cool. Lone says, like, I got a better feel for her. Oh, okay. Fluff says, if I liked spending money, I'd be wailing for a few gacha games. Yes, I know. It's one of those things where it's like, if you had again, I think it's less of like you're a millionaire so much as you just have consistent revenue coming in. Like if you have a job and you know you can expect this much money every time, you can be like, okay, well, if I take out like 10% of that and I make it so it's for my fun little gaming spend, then that can make some sense, you know? Lone says, I'm like 30 minutes away from the next S rank on the standard banner, hoping to get Grace, Mechanic Girl, or Rena, BDSM. Yeah, what do you call it, man? That's one hell of a combo. I think those two would play really well together, Grace and her, because I feel like that's the only kind of, well, I don't know what her innate, what Grace's innate penetration is, you know, if she's good. Also, I don't really know what penetration really does. Is it like it just like if they're, whenever we get to endgame, we'll eventually fight armored targets and just shredding their defense or shredding their pierce or enhancing your pierce is both ways to get around that health bar essentially. Jade, a twin tail android girl with the tri-staff girl. Yeah, the tri-staff girl. Yeah. It's weird. I did notice that she was also android. I was like, what? This is weird, but okay. They're really covering every conceivable thing with the game. Penetration ignores defense. Penetration pierce damage resistance. Bosses is particular are resistant / weak to a different ones. Gotcha. So it could be kind of good or bad. Got it. She's part of the cop. She's a robo-cop. Yes, sure. Oh man, oh god, I shook my head. That's like the most anime thing ever. Like, let's make RoboCop, but instead of it being, a disgusting man who, if you look at him for more than 10 seconds, you're like, ugh. Instead, let's make it so he is, or it's a cute cat girl. Yeah. All right, so we're off to go. Oh, I actually was excited to show you guys before my headset died when we did it last time. Is this? So actually, did I show you guys? I don't know, but this one's gonna be. We're starting off way too much for this. All right, yeah. So this is gonna be a whole thing, but yes, this is basically just an onslaught. I don't know if she's dead or if he's dead. Come back, goddammit. There we go. This is a whole thing I haven't tried, really. Spartan stuff. That's the problem. When you miss your thrust. I missed. I can't throw that properly. Okay. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. There we go. Oh, fuck. We're just using it as kind of a makeshift bat. Like a crazy force multiplier on just a swing. I do think we're getting lit the hell up, though. Oh, fuck. I'm getting zapped. We definitely should go out of our way. Oh, grab. Okay. Am I covered in... What's my health situation look like? It was not great. Holding it like this is pretty good, but is it as good as just the shish kebab thrust? Got you. That was actually not a bad block. Okay, round one done. Mother of God. Okay, maybe we should go over here. Oh, God damn it! Do I have? Oh, fuck. Oh, Jesus. What's my health look like? Yeah, whenever I get caught up in like that kind of place, it gets real bad real fast. Oh. 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 Okay. Yeah, I need to start using not just the thrusts, but these kind of circling patterns where I don't know where I'm necessarily... Okay. Okay. Chill out. Got him. Just need to use that range. Yeah, we're finally starting to fight armor. Also, kind of... Oh god, there's someone behind me. Give me back my spear. Oh fuck. That's one method. Catch the spear by getting stabbed with it. Okay. Jesus Christ. Man, they're everywhere. They're really not giving you a moment of levity. Damn it. If only I could re-grab. My hand's not like that. we need to get some fucking distance, boys. Holy shit. Or this could weirdly work. I just hit you with this. This is kind of like a far-fetched thing. Stop. Oh fuck. Oh. Nope, stay down. Stay down. Give me my hand back. The fucking neck. There. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Oh man, that's a level 2. That sucks. That's significantly worse. Man, yeah, what I'm trying to say was when I'm trying to grab the spear, it's basically like the only option, it feels like to some extent, is to do the thrust. Like that's the most consistent thing, because I want to do stuff that I practice a little bit, which is like stuff where you do these wide sweeps and then you grab, see, like that, you grab and then you thrust forward, but because you can't feel anything, like there's no vibration that goes on in the controller to signal that like, ooh, I grabbed it, and then you can do these cool thrusts and pull things around and do that stuff. You can even do crazier stuff where you go around your back like this and then grab it, like that, and then throw it forward. That one's kind of stupid martial arts fanfare, to be honest. But still, it's a little disappointing because I can't quite feel. I wish they added like a vibration that happened as soon as your hand made contact with something. That way you know you've hit it, rather than having to be like, you know, it feels very slow. And the enemy's not playing that game, but they do give us a slight win with the enemies where they basically will not engage you unless you're facing them. So if there's an enemy behind you, they want to actually like stab the shit at you from behind. Which is kind of nice considering there's so many. Like there's almost like no written thing in history of like one person taking on like 18 people by himself in like one-arm combat, you know? Unless you have like a gun or something, even then, nah, you know. What's good, Raid? Raid says, Grin, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good, Raid. We had a bad start, but I'm happy we got in there playing. Feels much better. What's good, Lord? Your Lord says, yo, what's good, Lord? Otherwise, if she was an A rank, she'd power creep Anby too quickly. Yeah. I see, that makes sense. Also, what's good, Rasta? I say, girl, what's good, Rasta? Oh, it's hot. It's hot. I need to peel back the curtain a little bit. Whew. Not much long, just getting after it. Woke up 20 minutes ago. Damn. Fluff says, I doubt I'll be lucky, but I'm saving for the smart comparator to handle Primo Astro from Gantry. Yeah, that makes sense. Now, Fluff has had his glow up a little bit. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. No, you've had your glow up in Withering Waves because you finally spent stuff, so now you have that cool two-handed character to fuck shit up. Also, I thought we got something. Yeah, we did. So we got this, and then we also have this, and these are all our cool telekinetic power thing. This one is where we can like do a cool smash with our hand with telekinesis. Pow. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to get it again, but if you guys could just bear with me for a little bit, I'm gonna try to get the gameplay footage I need for this video I'm working on. Come on, there we go. But we'll see. Oh god. Oh no, I'm stuck. There we go. Alright. Let's go to the Bard place, even though I don't think it's really good. Also, it's so not worth doing the onslaught missions. Maybe like time-wise it's actually much better. But yes, in general, not ideal. Also, I wish I didn't have legs. As much as I know VR like I like looking at them, I wish they weren't existing. I wish they just clipped through everything, you know? Also, so in order to make this weird point, I think we are going to need... Oh, we're going to need one of you. And we're going to need a nice old spear. Ooh, it's a two-handed axe. That looks fun. Or not axe, I mean thing. Yeah, that was helpful. More helpful than I said. Yes, great. Surprised I don't have another spear that I could just snag. I guess I could just use mine. Let's grab this javelin, just because I guess that'll be something. Alrighty. Yeah. Alright, so the thing I was trying to talk about in the video, and for the love of God, if you do, don't correct me, because it's just going to kick my ass. I already made the video. It's going to be a nightmare. But the premise I was trying to describe to people, let me see if I can think of exactly the commentary of it. It was basically, I was trying to explain why a lot of people who do sword stuff perceive that, like, oh, if a swordsman can basically close the gap and get to a spearman, basically they can like destroy you. But it doesn't really make sense if you've ever actually seen a spear person like fire off a thrust, which is basically this. And it's just the speed in which you can actually do that. It's not the same. It's not the same thing as a sword thrust. So if we grab a spear, basically when you're doing this, you can do the same thrusting pattern except less reach. But the problem is when you get your weapon hit off target, because you're at the very furthest point of a lever, it's much harder for you to bring your weapon back to center point. So if someone like tings your weapon like that, it's significantly harder for you to pull it back and then go in for another thrust. So if someone taps your weapon, you have to pull it back to center, get it in the right alignment, and then thrust forward. And the thing that a spear has, where that one doesn't, is basically the ability. So if you tap this, if you're going for if a spear person's going for a thrust, my hand's disconnected. A spearman's going through a thrust, and you tap it away. A spear person doesn't have to follow that same logic of having to pull it back to their center point, pull it in, and then do this. They can just retract the weapon back to the closest possible point and lunge it again. So it doesn't matter if you knock it off, because a person just can pull it back and go forward again. So it doesn't matter if you tip the weapon here, because the person can easily just retrieve it back and then slam it forward. So it's not quite the same thing. And again, just the speed in which someone can just like lay out thrusts and then go from different angles, and then even just not even let your hands slip through, but just even doing thrusts with just pure, your hands essentially, without having to like let your hands slip through. So it's just kind of a lighter thrust. It's still fast as shit. And also just the penetration that someone can get by using two hands to just drive forward into something is wild. But anyways, so I wanted to point out that weird thing of a lot of people think that, spears, swords beat spears if they're able to close the gap. And just, again, you don't need that much space. Like, even with a spear, oh no. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, my spear's gone. Oh, did I not? Oh, no, it's right there. Okay, thank God. Thank God. But even with a spear that's my height, so long as you're holding the center point, you actually have pretty good space. Like, you're never going to be in a corridor that's like fucking that tight. And so long as you have enough space to retract your hand downwards like this, you don't need that much room. But yet you have so much room if you're actually able to fully elongate or even hold your whole body like that and then come back to center. So again, that's kind of a myth. Like, it's one of those things where I hear a lot of people talk about spears in a certain way, but if you see any videos where a person actually uses a spear versus anything, those myths are shown to be basically like, in practice, they don't actually make a lot of sense, or they're not actually a limitation in a lot of ways. Like, again, I remember I seen a video where a person was like, yeah, you can easily just smack a spear out the way and then go in for a hit, but a spear person can recall their spear and backpedal and then lunge up at you, so it just doesn't end up working. And I was trying to explain to people that because of leverage, essentially, like the fact that if you smack this away and you're at the farthest possible point, yeah, it takes a lot more strength to pull yourself back to center. But with a spear person, they can basically cheat and then just recall their thing, getting to the center weight or the center of mass, and then having all the control back again, and then going like that, you know? So that's what I was trying to explain in this video that I'm working on. But it's hard to kind of to explain that within this, within Blade and Sorcery. This one kind of is a good representation of weight, and how most swords the art is basically pulling it close to you so that you can get back to the center weight, essentially, so that you can do these fast movements. Like, a lot of the things I've seen is like how is it? Like, you slash, I don't know, you hold a weapon like this and then you pivot your whole weight so that you're not like doing this, so the center weight's all there, because that's going to be so hard to pull back and do all that stuff. Instead, you keep it close to you, and you keep it, and then you can do lunges if you really want, but that's only because it's far easier to pull back like this than it is to do any of this other weird shit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to think about this as I'm listening to my audio, because I explained it in a very specific way that I want to kind of match the gameplay to that. But that's kind of the overall sense that I'm talking about in one of the videos, and it's kind of harder to explain, like in visual stuff. I think the way I explained it was basically grabbing the spear like this and trying to explain that, like,
like it's so heavy when you have a stick at the very end of it. Like this is our character has an abnormal strength, but it's almost impossible to lift a weapon like this. And most people, you just say, okay, that's enough. Stop holding a weapon at that center point. They'll just grab the middle because that's where it's balanced, and then they'll be fine. They'll intuitively do that. And that's something you can't do with a big ass steel weapon like this. But a spear you can. You can immediately get back to the center point and be good, and be in complete control. You know what I mean? But yes. And then what was the thing? Oh, I think I mentioned axes and how I thought it was shocking how axes can actually, in a similar to a spear thrust, can be like shot out like a gun essentially. And in the same way that a sword has that limitation by being so far behind it. What do you call it? An axe has the same benefit of being able to slide up to the weight or the counterweight, pulling it back, and then going here again. Like usually you actually wait here until you're here, and then you slide down and you smash. But regardless, hopefully the video comes out pretty well. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the gameplay that I want until I actually hear my dialogue and all that stuff. But anyways, Ross says, I'm just chilling, watching some series called Jack Ryan on Prime. Oh, I hear about that. It's like a kind of a army kind of thing, right? Like a kind of a spy ex-army extraction thing. Oh, my chest. As easy as the first Hoyo game I've put money into, but I'm still spent less. Oh, you did spend some money in ZZ. Okay. Oh yeah, you bought the Welkin equivalent, right? Oh my God, sorry, my head's getting so warm. So far, I'm sure ZZZ will wind up being my most invested eventually. Yeah, for sure. Makes sense. I remember it connecting really well with you. Fluff says, I'm definitely going to enjoy ZZZ the most out of any gacha I've played so far. But I have the mindset and preference that allows me to love the game like Marvel Midnight Sun for all its... Yeah, it's true. That's true. But I... can't expect TikTok generates on to have a patience or attention span to stick with a game like ZZ. They need constant stimulation. I can't read or listen to dialogue for shit. Fluff says, hell, the sheer demand for a universal skip button in Withering Waves embodies that. Yeah, I agree. I also do think that like it's one of the things that is frustrating a little bit. Like people mention that within like it was one of the things that was one of the most misguided things I heard people say a lot back in the day, which was this new generation has like a low attention span. They have a attention span of a goldfish, and it's just not the case. The reason why is because, well, one of the things that was always pretty clear, like there's more that's going on here than you might seem, was the fact that games like Game of Thrones and etc. were still extremely successful. The difference has become that the new generation or newer generations have had such a mass amount of content that they can choose from, that unless you hook them appropriately, and Game of Thrones has done this, and other shows have done this, then they proceed to not care. And I don't think that's fault of the audience. I think it's fair to like say, if you want my attention, there's 1,000 other things that are more interesting than you. How are you going to think of a way to capture your story or what you're trying to convey or the fun factor that is your content? How are you going to sell it in such a way that makes me be like, I want to invest right now? One of the best places for this is anime, specifically manga and manhwa. Which, who would have thought the main demographic for those people is not actually old heads. It's like new generation people who are the newest generation of kids and whatnot. Because manhwas are really good about being like, here's a really interesting premise that you can't help but want to invest in. So as much as I agree that yes, you know, I haven't heard anything with ZZ as far as like the attention spans and like people just being disinterested with the story and stuff like that. But I do think you having a story that is going to be captivating or not is hindered on your capacity to hook the viewer within the first 30 seconds. People want to call it TikTok brain or whatnot. I don't know if that's fair, because it's just like if you look at anything that's super successful, like whether it's Star Wars or any of these things, they find a pretty good way to make you like lean in and be interested, you know? But yeah, I think I recall correctly, I was $20 for Tower of Fantasy, $10 for Withering Waves, and $6 for ZZ. Oh wow! For what, the Welkin? Was the Welkin for $10? I thought the Welkin for me, or like the equivalent of the Hall Pass. That's what we're talking about. Which is extremely light spending for a gacha game. Yeah. Fluff says, and yet ZZZ is a visual and yet ZZZ is a visual webtoon style storytelling, and everyone calls it snooze fest. Yeah, see, but that's not the point of why it's interesting. It's exactly the problem. That's why it's thing. Just because you emulate manhwa, webtoons, and all these things doesn't mean you have listened. Like, basically, it's like, great, you're now operating in the field that is the most competitive and imaginable, which is basically like there's basically a ton of manhwa that have the style, that have a beautiful art direction, that just die on impact because they don't do a good job of explaining the hook of the game. Like, people want to call, like, this is not even a manhwa, but again, one of the best examples of this is the story of My Hero Academia. Within the first couple seconds, Deku explains within like one sentence, this is a world where everyone has quirks. What do you call it? I was born without a quirk. I've always wanted to be I've always wanted to be a hero, and this is the story of how I became the #1 hero. So, regardless of what the story is, we're expecting that to be the story. So, like, they've hinted at this, like, it's worth you reading. In the book thing that I'm reading right now, Fluff, I think it speaks this beautifully, but it's this idea that basically there's this book, and it's called the Moments Before He Shot Her. Is what it's called. And what the book starts off as is it starts off as this. It's hard to describe, but it's basically a narration within like 3 sentences that says, "This is a boy who stands in front of this woman, moments before he's about to shoot her." And it's written in such a beautiful way that makes you super interested in the main character and what happened to this kid and why is he about to shoot this poor innocent woman. The way the author describes that he's shaking and he's scared and that you don't know what's happening. And then the narrator basically says, this is the story that... this is the thing that led this character to becoming one of the most renowned serial killers in the entire world. And then it starts you all the way back to when he's a kid. So without that moment at the beginning that says this is the moment where not only does he kill this woman, but he also becomes like he's going to kill many more people after this. Without that moment, the first page starts and it's just talking about him as a kid, how he's brave but brash but ignorant in some ways, and he's going through all of these trials and tribulations. But because we know that he ends up at that point, it makes everything else worth it. It makes everything else exceptionally interesting. And yeah, that's kind of what I mean, though. And I don't think ZZZ really has done that. ZZZ kind of just throws you into the world and expects you to kind of get it. And to me, that didn't really hook me, but maybe it does to some people. I'll concede that the world's exceptionally interesting, but I feel like that's the miss, if there is a miss. And I think I don't think the story of ZZZ is done poorly at all. No, I don't think. I think it's just the beginning is not very good. And that is like the sole core thing that speaks to the new generation. It's not that they have a low attention span; it's just that they have so much content that they can. If it doesn't pique their interest, then they'll just walk away. But as soon as it piques their interest, they can settle in for hundreds of chapters. TV section, and I got the abundant. Where people tend to filter out is the TV section, and I get that there's an abundance of main story sequences, but I feel like it's nowhere near as bad as people are making it out to be. With additional complaints of difficulty being too easy in the first 5 hours, which is still on board the tutorial process. This game introduced features and mechanics one by one. I think all that stuff is silly. I think. Like as far as like the people complaining about the difficulty thing, like every beginning of the game is easy, you know, that's dumb, and yeah, and the game introduces features and mechanics one by one rather than dumping it all in your lap. Yeah, I think that's good. I do think that people do like I think it's probably a good rule of thumb when you're playing a gacha game specifically that has like this FOMO aspect of it in there. I think it makes sense that people would rather prefer that you give me the resin stuff sooner, because it's the thing that's finite, it's the thing that's limiting, and I think they do. Frankly, I think if you play it for like 4 hours, 5 hours, you'll unlock the resin thing and dailies and all that stuff. But people don't want to be sitting there grinding to have to get to those important parts, you know. Especially when like I definitely think that people have And not a lot of people have time to play. I think most people think that a lot of people have a lot of time to play, but I think in retrospect, we don't actually have that much time to play. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's the whole like argument of the story being bad. I don't think it's bad. I think it just doesn't hook you in the beginning, and I think therefore people start to not care because, and also people don't know what they're investing into. Like again, that's the other aspect of that whole narration idea of hooking the viewer or hooking the person. Like ultimately, I'm like, okay, I'm watching this story about a character who gets this AI thing in the brain, and there's this world with like these corruption, I guess. Like they do a bad job of explaining the world. They do a bad job of explaining, like what we're building towards. Like what's the point? Like what is the cumulative goal? Like are we going to become proficient in something? Are we trying? Do the main characters have the ambition to like rule the city? Is it revenge? Is it losslessness? You know, of like we don't know who we are. Like there's nothing really there. It's just like we're watching two siblings kind of be, and that can be fun. But I think for people who have so many things to watch, you need to tell the viewer like why they need to care. I guess. Does that make sense? I don't know if it's true. I don't know if this is the correct perspective on everything. That's where I find, to me, I start to disconnect slightly. And yeah. Click the button. It's hot. So there's there's also been a load of complaints that people aren't being allowed to use their poll characters in the story when there's toggle for trial characters on screen. Oh, yeah. See, this is where we get into like there's definitely like good criticism that like seems like people can at least to me, good criticism is only validated by the fact that at least I can understand where you're coming from. You've made it clear about like why this is frustrating and why why there could be a better way, rather than people just being ignorant to information, which is 90% of reviews about video games, unfortunately. Is people complaining about like, well, why can't I do this? And it's like, well, you can. And they're like, well, they should make that more clear. And like, well, maybe you should become more clever and look around, you know? There's always going to be that kind of ignorance being a thing. Which, by the way, I know all of us know that. I'm not saying guys don't. To me, it's just something that I see, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of in one ear out the other, because to me it immediately seems disingenuous as far as the criticism is concerned, you know? Oh, do we want to go the normal way? Oh, I forgot, boys. This is why we got the power that we did. Who wants to climb when you can motherfucking fly? Come on. There we go. That was kind of like I tried to do one of those. Is he? Yeah, is she alive? All right, ready? I'm not going to be able to throw it with my left hand. Ugh. That worked surprisingly well. No, the spear. Why does it miss? There. You have to sever the spine, always. Okay. That's kind of a horribly fucked up thing, but hey. Oh, my nose. Sorry, I hit the mic. Oh. What's good, Zero? Zero says they start to talk about their past near the end of chapter 1. Okay, that's kind of nice. Again, to me, like I'm certain that like Fluff has said it's a good story. Me and Fluff tend to like the same story, so I tend to think it's going to balance out. But it's like to me at least, it's like all that I do is try to find out like why people like what they like and why it's interesting. And this book that I'm reading about storytelling, to me, is kind of a good baseline to read about like what makes a good story, what makes a bad story. Now, granted, that's a little big prudish, you know. People have different tastes, and all that stuff is fair. But it gets a pretty good North Star as far as like the baseline of why we pay attention to certain stories. So one of the things that I always thought was really neat, and that's one of the things I read in this book, which I thought was neat, that I'm currently reading, and it's basically the idea that every single time, like, scientists and whatnot were able to actually track within the brain when you are being told a story, synapses in your brain that otherwise are never turned on start to turn up like a Christmas tree. And the reason why that is, apparently, is because the way we learned how to survive and all that stuff is given this idea that basically that was how we gave information. So if you heard about how Bobby got attacked by a fucking tiger or some shit, you perked up and were interested. You were asking what happened, what did he do, why did he do that? So it's this underlining idea, even if you're not subconsciously aware of it, that every single time somebody tells you a story or tells you drama or tells you something of any kind, you immediately subconsciously put yourself in that position and then see how the hell they reacted so that you can maybe survive it. So you can take that idea and realize, okay, let's not go near the bushes at nighttime because we could get eaten by tigers. Or, what do you call it? It sounds crazy, but like, ooh, if we're ever isekai'd into this magical fantasy world and we were given these powers and the nobles around us hated us and were trying to tear us down, how would we survive? It sounds crazy, but our brain is like wired to basically put yourself in those shoes and like pay attention to how the characters are reacting so that you can take away some sort of information. So if you're not meeting those expectations of like, how does this character be affected by these things? How does the character move past all this stuff? Then it kind of falls apart. Or it's your natural inclination as a person is to kind of be disinterested. If it, like, imagine you were reading a story that like Betty went to the store, she ended up getting amazing superpowers, she became this wonderful hero. But then aliens attacked. She left. She got just killed in the first 2 seconds, or a couple seconds later. My point is that there's like a story that's utter chaos, that's going everywhere, and you can't make sense of which turn it's going to take. Your brain ends up being like, this is nonsense. And the why that is probably because your brain's looking for answers and things like that. You know, probably doing a bad job explaining the book, but that's the overall consensus, which I think is pretty true, at least in my thing, because I always find that whenever someone's telling me something, I find that like I'm immediately putting myself in their shoes and trying to think about how I would react and how I would overcome said trauma, frustration, or anything like that. You know. And then there's those that personally associate the game with Persona and still complain about it being slow burn from a series that is known for having slow burns. Fluff says most have been ignorant, whether international or otherwise, and there's too many content creators, streamers, magnify. Yeah, that's kind of stupid. Yeah, I definitely think it's one of those things where, like, how do I put it? That, like, people, again, it's a good rule of thumb that most people should have at this point. But it's okay to realize something may not be for you, you know, and just kind of being like, yeah, this is what this game I think is targeting, and this is not who I am, and I'm not going to enjoy it, so I'm stopping playing it. You know, I think that's okay to do too. It also helps being like, okay, like imagine someone who plays like Stardew Valley jumping into like Bloodborne or something like that, and then expecting them to like it. But if they were given the context of what kind of game it was and what they were going to have to like endure and look forward to, then yeah, maybe they'll have a better time experiencing because at least they know what they're getting into. And that could be an argument that you could throw it on the designers of the game who weren't making it clear what kind of the game it was. But I thought Maui did a pretty good job of saying this is not Genshin, you know. To be fair, I guess I prefer people talking about the game positively or negatively, as it means more eyes are on it, yeah. Rather than being apathetic about it and thus making it fade away. It's true. Powerful opinions do shape things. Again, one of the biggest things that's interesting to know, something that's interesting to know, is that the more people, the more like, not haters, but the more like people are tearing down your thing, it makes other people, so like radicalization magnifies radicalization on both ends. So if you love something and people tend to start tearing it down unjustly, it just makes the other side who is enjoying it, make it them more fervent in their excitement and their defense, and this just keeps building off of each other. You know what I mean? And I think it is done well. So it's similar to other God of War sequels, games like God of War, the originals, where they have to come up with a reason. They establish characters and have a start from zero. And I think it's done well. The opening will introduce us to Noelle, Abby, and Billy. Followed by having us as proxies swoop in and help them. Fluff says, we, the player, are dropped into the lives of people that have existed and legend reputation, but they set up the characters to start from scratch and rebuild the rep. Yeah, no, again, it's not that, like, it's so hot, give me a sec. to me, it kind of comes down to like it's almost like everything. Theoretically, a person could have every single thing perfect about them, but there's something about it that's just not working. Yeah, like there's plenty of examples of those weird things. Having like a lot of ducks in the row, but then something isn't working. And to me, it comes down to, I think, like I and many others seemingly have not been like hooked by the story at the beginning. Again, maybe if I play some more of it, maybe I'll start to get hooked. There are moments where I start to think it gets interesting, but it doesn't do a good job of making me invested in the world, invested in these characters. Like there's plenty of stories that start with the character in the middle of its lifespan. Or in the middle of his thing, and they share like the background of these characters. They do all this stuff. They make you feel invested. At least to me, I feel nothing for anyone. We meet Nicole. Who is she? She's just some random person with a suitcase. Okay, she has powers. Okay, she's the boss. Kind of get it. She's cute. She has a personality. But I just don't know what these characters are doing. Like they mean nothing to me. They've not shown me anything that makes me like want to. I don't know where they're going. I don't know where they've been. I know nothing, essentially, and it's annoying because I guess the story to almost expects me to know, and it makes me feel like, did I miss something? And that doesn't work as well. And we'll see. Maybe this goes down as one of the best stories in all of gaming. But for me, the beginning at least, and again, it could take it from maybe the halfway point. There's plenty of stories that have a shitty beginning, but fucking take off within the second arc or something like that, or third chapter, or whatever it be. But for me, I feel like the story has. I'm with the people who are like the story's pretty mid at the beginning, at the very least, or not mid. It just doesn't make me excited or interested to experience these characters. Like I don't even know who they fucking are. How can I have any emotions to them? But I'm not sure how many people are like Fluff who perceive them as being. God damn it! I hate when you get stuck on like a tiny thing like that. Okay, wow. Probably a bad idea to go for a hit like that. Man, spears do the trick. Wah. Yeah, I don't know if it's good for people who write it off, but I do understand why people could say like, yeah, the story didn't hook me, so I stopped caring. But then for people who are like, no, it gets good, and that's always true. Like every friend always says that. Like, no, if you get, like, and I've said this many times to people, which is like, if you can make it past the third episode, stop watching it. But at least then you've made it far enough to where I think that's where it started to give you its best foot forward. Fluff says, I can see the same. I can ask the same question about Withering Waves, Genshin, Honkai Rail, Star Rail, or any other gacha game. Most of them do not explain the character at all during the intro. Sure. So this is my whole kind of thing, Fluff, a little bit. Where like this, just to kind of wrap this up a little bit. For me, again, like you're saying that like these other games don't do a good job of introducing characters. Sure, but I think a lot of other people, I haven't heard the criticism in Withering Waves, at least, or maybe Withering Waves, I haven't heard something. I heard people say that the beginning of the story is kind of hit or miss. But I didn't really hear anyone say that the beginning of the story is not interesting or doesn't hook you to some extent. And maybe I have, but it's just not, I haven't heard that much of an uproar. So even if that's true, that like these games also don't explain the character in the way that you're describing, yes, but I don't hear the criticism as much. Now, if you want to say this is specifically a Mihoyo hater thing, maybe there's a lot more eyes on it. But to me, I genuinely think if I think about Withering Waves, I think, oh no, it does a pretty good job. But like it's the same thing we're talking about like a good hook, where this girl is like shoots you down into like this weird abyss, and then you wake up, and then you have what do you call it? You have all this stuff. It's not about understanding the character so much as about it hooks you. It's not about like, yes, it's nice when they tell you the character. Yes, it's nice when they do this. But at the end of the result, if it's not a page turner, or if it's not something that you're feeling hooked by, then it's missed. Now it could be 1,000 ways that it missed. It could also be 1,000 ways that it did really well. But the end result is just that it missed, or that it did well. And to me, again, and I think to all these people criticizing it, I think it missed to them. Now whether it's just not aimed at them as far as story writing could be a thing, but yeah. Genshin, I think, did a pretty good hook too. Same thing, same premise of like, who is this benevolent god who just chucked us into the earth? Who is this weird Paimon character? Okay, here is this Knights of Livonia. We're just gonna kind of hunt. We're gonna explain who the Knights of Livonia are because you're a new person in this world and you're taking all this information. I feel like it just did a really good job about explaining that. I can't speak to Star Rail or Honkai, but yeah, I think those two games did a pretty good job of explaining, like, hooking you into the world and slowly explaining things to you. Now, if you want to say it's a little basic of a story by the fact that it's like your character is basically being reborn and is lost as the main player, is sure, but at least it's a format that makes it so that the player can understand a lot of stuff, hence why it's used so often within storytelling and specifically video games. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, Fluff. The whole thing about Chica and all those things, they do a pretty good job about explaining to us, like, within the first, I want to say, hour, that we know that they're like, we're, what do you call it? They're a part of this city that has all this stuff going on. This like a city within. There's like these tacit discords. I don't know if this is like a even remote comparison, because like to me in Wither Waves it does do a good job of explaining a lot of these. You don't need everything to be explained, but in Wither Waves I still. It does a horrific job of explaining to you what anything is, and again I think it's because the writers are trying to embody something that a lot of people like, which is basically show don't tell. I don't want to be babied and tell totally exactly what it is. Sure, you're gonna make those people happy who are happy with like basically piecing things together as they're walking, and they don't need to be spoon-fed stuff. But for everyone else who's a normie, including myself, I guess, they're gonna be lost as shit. So it says the first personal story we get of the character that is the main story reveals it from the thing. You may not have seen the compilation regarding Wither Waves, but I did. It was a key reason people demanded a universal skip button, because there was lengthy exposure that often repeated itself. Exposition that... No, yeah, again, it's... Yeah, I think we're talking about different things. I think when I start to build on one thing, you jump to another thing, and I feel like, okay, well, I don't... yeah, they're different things. Like, to me, yes, there's also an argument for, like, story being bad as far as, like, it just goes on and on and on, and there's too much of this rambling exposition that doesn't matter. But that's not what I'm talking about. Like, we're jumping to weird shit here. And, yes, maybe there's 1,000 problems why people said Withering Waves wasn't bad, but it's still the thing of, like, again, I don't even know... where like what I feel like you've been watching TikToks all day and on this stuff, and you've been watching people and you've been reacting to that stuff, and I'm just coming in as like an outside source where like I just didn't connect with the story, and you're like you have all of these reasons why people disliked it, and I'm just kind of passively getting those, and each time I'm like, oh, for me it's this, and then there's a new thing that comes in, like Withering Waves, story is too much and they wanted a skip button. I totally agree that almost every game should have a skip button, because not a lot of people like the constant exposition of these massive deep dives. Hell, that was my main criticism with 1.1 and the whole of Wither Wave story, is that there's like it's too much information of constantly like reciting things we already know. My criticism for ZZ is that it just doesn't hook you and pull you into the story and tell you things that make you connect or like understand what you have to look forward to in the future. Like it doesn't tell you, like in the first couple seconds of Withering Waves, to me, I know we're some weird special person who might be 100 years old who has already walked this plane before, and we're back, and they said that we're some sort of savior. There's a prophecy about it. I know what the future probably is going to hold. I'm curious to see how that develops. In ZZZ, I know nothing about like what the future holds at all, and I'm maybe again, if I play enough chapters, maybe I start to realize, oh, they have this grand ambition, they were betrayed, they were something, but instead I don't have that. So again, I feel like we're not going to see eye to eye on this because I haven't seen the footage you've seen or the reaction to stuff. Maybe I'd be as pissed as you are, but I have no idea what you've seen. So like, I feel like I can't even have a conversation about this because it's just, I don't even know what's going to be brought up, and I don't know what we're even reacting to, Not sure why 1.1 gave us more information about who we are as Rover, and Genshin about Aether and Lumaine in 4 years, but Billy and Wise also get their backstory explained as you progress Chapter 1. Hey, no, again, my criticism. This is kind of what I'm. This is why I'm kind of feel like I'm spinning right now. My criticism is not that like eventually they don't explain their story. This is not the criticism at all. The main criticism, I think, is you have to hook people within the first 30 minutes of the story, or most people tune out. That's the generation of there being 1,000 games to play, there being so much stuff. If you do not tell someone, or you're not, even if they do all the things right and it doesn't hook people, then there's something else going on. There's a reason why people aren't connecting with it. Maybe everyone's a hating ass bitch. Could totally be the case. But to me, my main criticism, I'm not talking about all this other stuff. My main thing that I think ZZZ does not do a great job at is hooking you within the first 30 minutes. I don't know who the characters are. I don't know how they feel. I don't know their backstory. I don't know what I'm looking forward to. I've only played probably like 2 hours of story. Maybe if I play 4 hours of story, and that's fine if it's one of those games that says when you play 4 hours, you at least need to get to this point in the story before you decide if you hate it or not. I'm totally okay with that. But that also is you admitting, and I've had to admit this to my friends as whatnot when I'm suggesting them a manga or something, it has a really weak start. It doesn't do a good job of hooking you really early, and that's okay. And it's better to tell people, like, to at least make it to this point in the story before we do anything else, or before you throw it away, because maybe it is a really good story, and there's plenty of authors that don't do a really good job of introducing the game and hooking them, but they do such a good job of like world building and connecting with characters and all these things. Like, that's totally a thing with people. Oh shit! Thank God he blocked. Brutal. Zero says Honkai Star Rail with the events, them cut to days before it happens. Oh, sorry, Honkai Star Rail, or sorry, Honkai Star with an event them cut to days before it happens. Yeah, see, again, to me, like, all I need is something that is like provocative enough in ZZZ to make me be like, oh, that's what's going on with that, you know? Like, I'm not sure if they even if they were to hard cut to like your main character like struggling, and like you see like all of these weird blue veins start to encroach away from his skull into his bones and his body, and him scream in agony, and then it says 2 days before. And then that's when we see him into like and within the first 2 chapters, he gets the AI in his brain, and we're realizing, okay, but at least that's something that I was curious about the whole time, and I was trying to follow, and I was like, ooh, okay, what's this going to be about? Like, that is kind of what I feel like the game is missing. To me, and again, it's like to Fluff apparently. So maybe I think I haven't heard anyone else complain about it. To like, it's like I am. So I think maybe everyone else is on the same page about like the story really connecting with a lot of people. But to me, I think the story, at least for playing not that much of it, has not been very, has not sold me on it yet. The beginning part of it, at least. Don't get me wrong. I actually, at this point, I wouldn't say that. I'd say I like the story quite a lot. I think the story about us having this AI in our brain is pretty neat. I get why the narrative was built in the way that it is, because it's trying to like reboot the things so that we are both like a legend and that we're not, and that we're like kind of making our own name for ourselves. All that stuff makes complete sense to me. I totally get all that stuff, and that stuff seems neat to me. So I'm bought in now. I would say I'm bought in. I'm more interested now. And then yeah. Also, I wonder. No, we need to use good old axe. Maybe it's better to go one-handed. And jump. Oh, that's such a cool thing. It's definitely a For Honor thing, I think. Also, I definitely think this would just cut. Yeah. That's awesome. Imagine you just leave that there. Alright, as much as axes are dope as hell, still staying with spears just so we can do this stuff. I actually do gotta practice some stuff, because it's kind of weird to be able to do these, like, one of the things you do with a spear is you hold it back behind yourself, and then you'd basically come forward like this, and then you'd pull back, and then you would do these long, like, things after you pulled it behind you, doing these strikes, essentially, after you kind of, like, roll it into your body and then push forward. But I don't know how easy that's going to be in Blade and Sorcery to kind of pull off. Like, right there, I pulled my hands back, but I need to, like, do that, and then do that. It just doesn't really, work, but we'll try. Also, Lord says, making jerky chicken mac and cheese. Ooh, what is that? Jerky chicken? Like beef jerky, but like chicken instead? Or like beef jerky and chicken and mash and what do you call it? Mac and cheese? Huh, that sounds delicious. Alrighty. Here we go. Damn it. Pick him up. pick him up. There we go. We do have abnormal strength. I should probably mention that in the video at some point. Just that we are cooking. All right, let's get through this bit. This is where I will never forget. This is where I eviscerated my light. Oh, fuck. I missed. Wait. I missed. Again, I wish I could position my hands better. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I fucking fell. Oh, jeez. Come on. Don't. I'm stuck in the fucking thing. Go. Jesus Christ. Man. Oh, shit. Oh, I should have just killed myself there by running into the knife. Drop it. Drop the weapon. Drop it. Okay, or not. Ooh, there's chickens. What are we doing with that weapon, huh? You can't knock the weapon out of someone's hand like that. Hey, I'll come back for you. There's still one alive. Oh, that was awesome. I don't know if I just made him tank that. Oh shit. You scared the fucking shit out of me. Knee shot. Oh, it didn't matter. I just got knee shot. There we go. Knee shot. Hand shot. Hand shot. Ooh, never mind. Why are they all kind of like getting tanned? A little odd. Is he alive? He's twitching a little bit. Ugh. Hey. Hey, chicken. Hey. Oh, hello. Come on, come on. Ooh. And ooh. Wow, this little scythe, pretty huge. Hey, give me that back. Hey, hey, bud. Don't move. Don't move. Okay. Fluff says, alright, I already said the game is a slow burn, a weak start as you put in, but I felt that it was smoother than Wuwa or Genshin, but both had it. I disagree with a little bit with the... I think Genshin really, I guess it may just be like a general, like stories can impact people in different ways, so for me, I find I like Genshin. I find Genshin and Wuthering Waves beginning much more interesting, to me at least. But this might just be where we enjoy different things. Both get better, and I will say, I think probably further in. Actually, I don't know. I haven't played enough ZZ. I can't say if it gets better or not, but I could see it getting better based on everyone's reaction that I've heard. Fluff says, I mean, one of the main complaints tends to see is that people say ZZ is falsely advertised as being a combat focused. Yeah, that's not fair. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like that's, I mean, yeah, I mean, people are kind of around semantics with that, I think. Like, it can very well be a combat sim. I don't know why people are saying that it couldn't. I think it's also just people who are, like, very pissed off with Genshin in general. Or not Genshin. Yeah, no, Genshin. Where people just, they hate that Genshin ever really became, like, a high difficulty ceiling, end game heavy kind of game. So, I think that's probably a part of it, probably. But yes. I feel like I'm just enjoying both, you know? I find it's one of those games where, to me, it's all just dumb fun, you know? It doesn't... I will say I do prefer... Actually, I don't know. I guess I see both of them as a lot of fun. I like both of... I think they're different. To me, I think, or at least for me, I can't speak to anyone else, but for me, I'm eating good. I really enjoy Wuthering Waves a lot because it's combat and it's like, it's generosity and it's just build stuff. I actually really enjoy the story of it quite a lot. I like the characters. I just do think they need to trim out some of the dialogue. And in ZZ, I'm having a blast when it comes to like the characters I'm playing and stuff like that. And I do think like I'm not in the mood right now for like mini games, but that doesn't mean that I won't eventually be. Like eventually we'll get sick and tired of like the balls to the walls fighting this boss or doing this said thing, and mini games will be a nice respite. But at least for right now, I find like when we were giving that little snake game, it was just bad timing. Oh, did it fuck up? Oh, I got messaged. I got private message. I wasn't sure if something broke. But that's like saying the only thing. That's like saying the only thing to do in Yakuza or Persona is the combat. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, I'm not sure about that. This is more of a I don't know. I haven't really thought about this part, but I like the idea that some things. What do we want to go do? I guess it don't really matter. This is only money. Sorry, I was gonna say I like the idea of if you don't want to, like I don't like the idea of them shoving mini games down people's throats who don't want to do mini games. You know, so I do think there's an argument for hopefully in ZZZ there's not like. I mean, I don't know. They need to incentivize it, so I guess it makes sense that they have some Primo Gems or something associated with it. But still. But yeah, I don't know. I do think it'd be nice, but I get it if they were like, no, these mini games we have to have people kind of force them to play it a little bit just so that they can see if they are into it or not. What's good, Bolty? Bolty, I'm sweating like a hooker in church, as good old Sully once said. Oh, it's so hot. It's so hot. Fluff says, and while it's one of the core mechanics of these games, it's has so much more to enjoy. Than just one aspect. Yeah, I think it's reductive for them to say that's not combat heavy and all these things, you know? Also, I'm excited to play ZZ tonight. I want to grind through some of the main story. I still haven't burnt my resin. I'm kind of shitting myself a little bit because I'm behind. Oh, man. That coffee is delicious. Oh. Alrighty. What's up, Raid? What's up, Lord? What's up, Blup? What's up, Blup? What's up, Bolty? Again? Alright, Bolty. Let's rock. Spear time. I wonder if we can use a spear with just one singular thrust. Also... I do love me the spear drag like that. Yeah, as long as you end up just getting the neck, it's crazy. And again, we are also unprecedentedly strong. Like freakishly so. Hey. Alright. Also, I said, alright. I want to get that damn knife. Give me that damn knife. Oh, chill. It's a little shitty that you can't hit with the back of the step. Not really. It doesn't quite work. There we go. Honestly, I think that would actually be one of the more freakish things if you just want. Also, I thought that was a new weapon. It's not. It's just classic Skyrim sword, essentially. It's so hot. It's so hot. Let's just do one of these. It's gonna be one of those play with your food moments a little bit. Lord says, but I sent you a video. Also, Lord did say, no, it's not jerky that. It's called Jamaican, it's Jamaican. They make jerky chicken. Oh, weird. I wonder what that tastes like. I have no idea what to expect that would be. I should send you a video. Oh, that's what you sent me. Gotcha. That was the Discord ting. Oh, it's so hot. You fucking seagulls. All right, here we go. Stupid. Dumb hands. Guess what? Ooh, slow down descent a little bit. We will do a pure magic run, because we're going to need to eventually just to keep ourselves cooking as far as speed is concerned. There it is. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Shh. Imagine if like there was a crime sect in this place. Well, you see, sir, they all got these weird kiss marks on their head. I don't really understand. It's kind of doesn't bode well. It's not a good death. And whap! Oh! Get down! Get down! There it is. Yeah, I'll be honest. This is the whole gravity is pretty overpowered. Who would have thought? Gravity mage, godlike. Hey. Oh, there he is. Oh, I missed. I don't know what happened to him. Oh, I almost missed that. Yeah. Armor my ass. Don't know why I said, armor my ass. It sounds like a, going to prison type thing. Stop. Stop. Just saw. I really want a spear that's not necessarily a traditional spear. Stop being alive. I missed. Oh, that was clean. All right. And thrust. Oh, God, jeez. Thrust. Get him. Oh, God. Why is that? Why did that go so? All right. Yuck. Yuck. All right. How am I doing health-wise? We're fucking golden, baby. We're locked in. Alrighty. I don't really use a spear like this. I'm not this like left-handed situation thing. Come on, baby. Damn it. There it is. Pull that up. Easy breezy. Don't. Give me this back. Good stuff. I'm not missing any like cool things, am I? Maybe. Oh. Oh, I can't see things clearly. I just checked, and this season of anime, we eating good this time around. Yeah, man, I seen that we're finally getting. I'm kind of pissed, Bolty. I'm not sure if you know, but are you a fan of Tower of God? I feel like a lot of people are a fan of Tower of God. Tower of God is goated, but I'm a little peeved. What do you call it? Tower of God. In the manhwa, if I'm not mistaken, which could be one of my stupid moments, but I think in Tower of God, the manga, the dude is like freakishly tall when he comes back. That's all I'll say. When he comes back, he's like Skeletor, freakishly tall, and they made him normal in the anime. I just think that's a load of shit, because that was a character feature. Man, that really just stop. Don't be perverted. Stop. All right. Anything affected? Oh shit! Whoop! There it is. Man, gravity is really just something else. Come on, gravity. Do your thing. Pull him down. There it is. Shoo! Get! Alright, let's not use gravity anymore. I probably shouldn't even use this anymore. Oh, I missed. Why do you always gotta use the goddamn thing? Oh. It's kind of a little annoying. Oh, jeez. She's got a little dagger. But ultimately, doesn't really work out, you know? But cool knife. I forgot I do have a skill that gives me cool knife throwing ability. Well, goddammit. Alright. I give up. Alright, it finally might be time. Finally. Look how pretty that is. Lighting, all that. Finally might be time for us to get a little crazy. Alright? Just to get a little crazy. Okay? It's not from this season of anime. Let me see. There's something called watch that Buddy Daddy's anime now. What is that? Buddy Daddy anime? There was I thought I seen something like that where like there's these two like I'm not sure if they're like detectives so much as they're like fixers. And they find this like cute kid. It's very similar to Spy X Family, but it's much more apparently hardcore. Also, this axe is almost too big for me to kind of make my point about it firing off.
Can't be good.
Yeah. Reach. Pull. And also, fire might be a little bit of might be overcooked. Hey. I forgot. I need to like. Oi, come on. This is totally like a beheading axe. Why are you fighting me? Come on. All right, YouTube. It's just ketchup. All right. It's not what you think it is. It is in fact blood. I'm sorry. It's blood. Out of all the weapons that we've played with, the axes are by far just the most cracked. Doesn't matter what they have as far as weapons are concerned. Oh. Yeah, just the level of like the rate in which you can fire off a hit like that, pull it back, a hit, pull this back, and then fire is wild. Oh, so the curved blade makes it so it doesn't get embedded too brutally. Nope, not the desk, not the book. There, that's what we want. Ooh, axes are pretty good, but in this game I think they are a little bit too. I think it's just because I built my character for strength, so he just has an abnormal amount of. He's not like the spear build as far as like being like able to. You know, we have so much strength that if we just bomb down at someone, they tend to get slashed in half. Oh, so this looks a little bit more like. Yeah. Ooh, there's coins. Thank you for the coins. Also, we can climb this. Like this. Isn't that fun? Yeah. Oh, we came this way, I see. This is the circle. Came full circle. Alright. What's that? Nothing? That's just some padlock things? Gotcha. There's usually like one enemy in here, but this might be a dead end. Nope, it's just loaded in. Never mind. Climb. We did it! We beat it! Easy breezy. I knew I didn't hear it go in. Good stuff. Good stuff. And there is also a very cultured anime coming. Hit me with it, Boldy. What is the synopsis of this cultured anime? I'm sure the whole stream is curious. To what extent and how cultured might this anime be? Do da da ba da 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 da. Do ba da ba da ba da ba. It's hot. That's all I have to say. I've transcended beyond overheating, and now we're just kind of stuck in this place. God damn it! There. Come here. This is the most. We didn't get that much. But we're finally able to do the new high-level enemy area thing. And then maybe, just maybe, we'll have access to some cool stuff. Yes. Oh, I know I could be affected by this thing. Jub tag is tog is great. What does that mean? I only looked at the very beginning of the webtoon, but I'm glad to have something to watch for now. Yeah, what do you call it, man? Again, don't worry, I love Tower of God. I'm a little bit sad that they made that adjustment because I think people really. That's what I told people when I was talking to them because I knew a little bit about the sequel of Tower of God, about where it was going to go, and I was sad when people were like, "Yeah, let's click that and then go here." I was a little bit sad when people were like, "Oh, it's good," But what do you call it? Eventually, I can't wait till you guys see the main character become who he is, which he looks nothing like the character we got from season 1, which is sick. But yeah, he still looks significantly different, but just not the holy fuck, this boy had a growth spurt, you know. So this is the one that always gets a little dicey as far as loading goes, but it looks to be doing pretty okay. Nice. Also, who needs this one? No, we shouldn't speedrun it, but we could. We definitely could. Oh shit. Yeah. Usually there's an enemy below, but it doesn't look like there is. And also, we're probably gonna need to heat up stuff because most of the enemies are probably gonna be armored. Jumpies. Wow. Oh, no enemies. Huh. Well, ain't that a first? Running, 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 run, run, run. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Wah. Oh, careful. Nothing there, no goodies. Wah. Come on. Ooh, there's finally a way to go forward there. We predominantly want our stuff. Although it is cool if we get some gameplay to fight stuff, so it's not that bad. Also, because now I have the ability to, basically use a burst to run away, we're cooking as far as being pretty okay when fighting that golem. Gravity magic, again, is pretty busted. Oh, God. Oh, fuck, I missed it. I hate my goddamn legs. Where? Step. Step. Oh, where did that come from? Oh, up there. Get up. Stop. Chill. Chill, chill, chill. Chill, chill, chill. Also, is that a knife? Oh, it is. That might be exactly what I need, especially for fighting that damn golem. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. Oh my god, that's actually a lot. Although again, loot like that is pretty mid. It's pretty not a present. Give me this. Also, I'll just take this. Oh god. Jump, damn it. Oh god damn it, I hate my legs so much. The legs on your gravity. What? Your legs suck. I can't describe it. If there's a mod that just basically makes it so your legs just aren't existing, that's the best. Ooh, what is this? Oh, it's a little bit of loot. Oh god, how do I... There. Jeez. Weird. Oh, that's why. There it is. Yeah, this is a movement hack for sure. I just don't want to waste all my mana, you know? Oh, hello. Oh, we can make this happen, I think. Yes. Question is, how much can we make this happen? Can we do this, again, I can't wait till there's people who take the framework of this and make, actual levels to where you can be, like an assassin to climb up all these things here. Ah, fuck. But then there's shit like that. Damn it. Alright, new plan. Don't. Stop. Okay. Okay. Not the best thing. Am I okay? I think I did get the... No, we're fine. We're absolutely fine. Good stuff. Good stuff. Lone says, I heard culture. A cultured anime. So it's funny because I always expect Lone to just the crypt keeper just come out of the framework and be like, hello. Like the shadows and be like, did somebody say? And it's just always on cue. Grin, did you see the video I sent on Discord? No, what is it? What is it? Ooh, also, in terms of anime, I'm probably starting Konosuba Season 3. Ooh, that seems clean, man. There's so many anime that I want to watch. The anime that I'm thinking about watching is Genlock, but I want to finish up that anime Lone gave me, but I keep putting it off because I found this one anime, not anime, sorry, I found this one manhwa, which is, it's apparently one of the most loved anime out there. It's just, we're notorious for having the funniest faces in manhwa, and it's just crazy. The dude is basically a dude gets isekai'd for sure, or gets reborn into a novel that he knows, but he ends up being reborn as the son's deadbeat noble son, essentially, like a baron's deadbeat noble son. But the hook is that basically it's like a Stardew Valley. It's basically like him finding ways to make like pull his family out of debt, and he's doing such a good job at it. And he's kind of a bastard. Again, it's nicer when you're seeing all these goddamn anime are like the most virtuous, sweet person ever. That's why like Kazuha from literally Konosuba is so good. Is because he's kind of selfish, but he's also like reasonable in the way that he's selfish. Like he's like, I want you to succeed, but I'm also going to do everything in my power to make it so that I also win. I also win. And I respect that level of honesty. You know, it's funny because there's a bunch. He ends up meeting like all these different people, like these baronesses and all that stuff. And he's almost like scamming them, but everyone loves him because like at the very end of the day they know who he is. Like he's very clear about like he's a person that will always try to act in the best interest of everybody, but he's also perfectly selfish to this extent where like people are like, yeah, he's someone that we can follow because you know that he's going to take care of his entire community as at the same time as trying to make it so that you win as well. But he's also going to find a way to do it, and he may not even tell you how he's going to do that. So he may scam you essentially. It's hilarious. It's good. Also, in terms of anime that consumes Season 3, Bodhi says, ahem, so lone. There's this one anime about this chubby elf woman. Bodhi, is it called Plus-Sized Elf, Jep? You guys are like kindred spirits, my brother. What is that? Huh. I've seen the manga for it. Don't know it got an anime. What's the premise? Can somebody explain me the overarching premise of this totally ethical and good anime? They really went the extra mile and went with an uncensored approach. Wow. Lone says, I'll look into it. Say less. Oh, it's so good. Oh, man. Also, let's try doing some spear slashes. It's a little bit harder to do, but just like dragging it across a little bit. Guys, just a reminder, just a friendly little TLDR thing. I am covered in so much sweat. I feel disgusting. If you see me right now, you'd puke. Oh. A lot of streamers are all... Oh, my. Hello. Again, very much we're using this as kind of like a makeshift bonkai or whatever. Oh, come on. That should have totally... Oh, my goodness. That guy just sent me flying. You kidding me? Where is this fuck who's sending fireballs at me? Okay. Okay, jump. Okay. We're gonna just get this neck. We're just gonna rest this. Oh god. We're just gonna rest this on your neck. Or we're just gonna try to hit it. There we go. Ooh, I'm getting lit up a little bit. Son of a bitch. Grab the fucking weapon. Oh, it ended up in his head. God damn it. Also, my headset's falling off. All right. Well, that was quite the... Yeah. I kind of send every character at you. Oh my god, my headset. Why are you fighting me so much, headset, today? I don't even know if it's facing the right way. Hopefully the audio for the commentary is not that just god-awful. Oh yeah, I know that anime. Bodhi says, do you know that black company, that anime where he's isekai'd and he's isekai'd into like it's called like a, basically it's just a really bad like wage slave type area. Should we keep tiny dagger or kind of shortish? We'll keep that. Am I weak? No, we're pretty okay. But yeah, Lone says, easy grin. Okay, Lone's got a TLDR first as well. Easy grin. An elf gains an excessive amount of weight during her stay at the human world and becomes thick. And she needs help to shred the pounds. Oh yeah, no, I seen a trailer for this. Yeah. It's basically like it's the fitness anime basically. something dumbbells and cute or something like that. Or yeah, that anime is also on the list. I think one probably seen it. It's like a fun exercise anime where same thing. Girl gets a little pudgy, and she it's all about like hot women and buff dudes essentially, but like grotesque buff, not like not like ooh lean as hell, but like dude who's like bodybuilding physique stuff. Also, this is beautiful. That's a little less beautiful, but outside of that, wow. This is the whole point, ladies and gentlemen. Literally, the point. The point. Trying to think of what would be a good thumbnail. Probably not this. Oh, my back. Oh, my back. So is this not the right way? Or is this just an elaborate bunch of bullshit? Well, goddamn. Oh, but there's that. Jump up there. It's so dark. Goddamn open. Where did I feel like we tossed a bunch of random stuff. Anyways. I mean, not total waste because we get a lot of good stuff from it. Again, this is what makes this game a little bit horrific a little bit is because you're like, oh, where is, if I die, all that stuff, all that hard work, all that loot that I grabbed, gonzo. What a bunch of fun stuff. And you're like, kill me. Kill me, man. It's just the worst. We have this convenient little pot. Look at that. Does it break? Nope. Frankly, if it lasted this long, it's not surprising that it didn't break. Yeah, we can go that way, but we also have cups there. But what about this? That was the only little game? Well, what the fuck is that about? Well, I suppose that's fair. Let's move on. People pace, all that. What about this? Is this the way we came in?